And I hope you can all join me in welcoming Richard Hanson up to give us a speech.
Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. Gone are the days when where a man wore a fragrance, he was liable to have his sexuality questioned. Things have moved so far in the other direction that a man who does not wear a fragrance is an anomaly, is characterless. A man who does not wear a fragrance is a brute. Men wear fragrances a bit like an accessory. It's the finishing touches to the clothes they choose to wear. It's a bit like a pair of cufflinks. I'm going to show you the different types of fragrances there are, how to select them, and some other tips along the way. So, what are the different types of fragrances? Well, there are 6. And first of all, let me introduce you to Madame Citrus, if you stand up. Madame Citrus is fresh, she's energetic. We come to Madame Citrus for refreshment. Thank you, Madame Citrus. Secondly, we have Mr. Aromatic. Mr. Aromatic, he reminds us of scents of lavender, of herbs. He's more of a distinguished character of a smell. Next, we have Mr. Aquatic. We're talking marine scents, wateriness. He came into fashion in the 1990s and represents cool. Next we have Mr. Fougère. If you would stand up, Mr. Fougère. Mr. Fougère. Fougère means fern in French. It's the woody, mossy smells. Mr. Fougère is unapologetically masculine. He's the choice of a sophisticated gentleman. Thank you, Mr. Fougère. Next, we have Madame Cyprus. Just like the island, when we think of Madame Cyprus, we're thinking dry heat, tree resins, and the smell of white flowers. Thank you, Madame Cyprus. And lastly, we have Madame Oriental. We're thinking fragrances of incense, spices. Madame Oriental is mysterious. Thank you. So those are the key different scents. But how do you select which one's right for you? Well, it's not easy. When you go shopping for a fragrance, it's quite a bewildering, disorientating experience with walls and walls of choice. It's quite tempting to go in and spray willy-nilly and hope for the best, but that won't get results. What I recommend is to select 5 fragrances that stand out to you. Use the little scent strips and spray it on them, and then walk away. You walk away because a fragrance changes over time. The initial smells, the top notes, are ones like Madame Citrus, fresh, energetic, but they pass after 20 minutes. It's like Madame Citrus has shaken your hand and welcomed you into the fragrance. But after those 20 minutes, we move into the heart notes. The heart notes are the flowery, the woody, the fragrance that you actually bought, because they last for 2 to 3 hours, which is about as long as you intended to wear it. And then after that, once the high notes, once the heart notes have evaporated, we're left with the base notes. The base notes are actually the fixatives, and these are the ones, these smoky, musky scents that we get in our clothes the next day. Now, if you've gone through that process, if you still like the fragrance, well, try it on your skin, because it has to work on your skin. If you still like it, buy it. Simple as that. Now, I know that some of you might be thinking, that's actually quite simple, but it didn't say anything to do with that in the TV adverts I saw. Well, actually, a smell is a smell, and it doesn't have a visual representation, despite what you see on a billboard. However, if you wear a fragrance and it makes you feel like a stoic, rugged rebel, If a fragrance makes you feel like you are Steve McQueen, well damn it, you paid the money, you are Steve McQueen. These companies spend millions on market research, on the products, on the packaging, and on the imagery. You are a smartly dressed man. You live in a penthouse apartment overlooking New York. You have a leggy, sour-faced girlfriend with impossibly big lips. Why not? Enjoy it. But there are a few things to remember. You should wear your fragrances appropriately. You shouldn't splash them all over. If you have one button undone, add one spray, so 2 sprays. If you have 2 buttons undone for more social occasions, 2 buttons, 3 sprays. And don't extend that exponentially. Any more than 2 buttons undone, any more than 3 sprays, you are a social pariah, and unless you are a spotty, desperate adolescent boy, you deserve no sympathy whatsoever. Also, you should store your fragrances in a box away from the bathroom. It's the worst place with all the lights and the fluctuating temperatures to store your expensive fragrances. I'd like to finish by saying that a fragrance should not take away from who you are, but equally it should not add anything to who you are. There is a great amount of choice out there, and you will find a fragrance to suit you. Your fragrance should reflect who you are. It should enhance and project who you are, but mostly it should allow you to enjoy who you are.